It is Thursday, August 27th. It is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3 back in the UK. SP3, how you feeling?
I am feeling good. I'm feeling refreshed being back in my natural habitat. Anytime I switch from New York to the UK, whatever I'm at new, it feels like it's brand new. So it's cool. It's cool. And I am a few days away from All In, so I'm excited for that show. Excited for tomorrow is the media day at Wembley Stadium, so I'll be part of that. So
Okay.
a lot of busy stuff going on over the weekend. There's a bunch of independent shows. Rev Pro's got their Wembley Arena show on Saturday. I'll probably just watch that from home. I already gotta go to, like, after I'm done with AE Ramble today. I gotta go to a hotel because I'm so far away from Wembley Stadium. I have to go to a hotel that's like 30 minutes away at least. So I'm going there after AE Ramble, stay the night because I have to be at Wembley Stadium at 8 a.m. tomorrow, which is 3 a.m. your time.
Do you know who's part of the media day tomorrow? Or are they not?
Yeah, I can tell you right
Okay.
now. Let me see. I got this email from AEW. So the media junket is going to have Kyle Fletcher, Willow Nightingale, Orange Cassidy, Kevin Knight, Tommaso Ciampa, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Maya World.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to ask Maya World about Dave Meltzer's wrestling viewing.
Oh, let's go. The goat is back.
Jeremy wants to see you. Where you ran away?
It's been so long.
You say hi to Jeremy?
Hi.
What's
How
wrong?
are you, Harlem?
Mommy.
That's the most important thing that's happened on this show today, and will continue to happen. Is the goat is back?
Yes, and I will tell you.
My ankle was sore.
Your ankle is sore?
No,
Oh, no.
Mommy's ankle.
Oh, mommy's ankle. Your hand is hurting?
No.
Because yesterday I'm watching the close up with Renee Paquette,
Mommy.
Yeah.
with her speaking to Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné. When they get to the part where her speaking to Willow Nightingale, she's looking at it with me and she's like, Dada, what is grown-up Harlem doing on screen? She thought that Willow Nightingale was a grown-up version of herself. So,
I mean, fair. I can see it. I can see it, honestly. Is that why she hurt her hand? She saw Willow hurt her hand.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, is your hand all right?
Yeah.
You're talking about Bobby's ankle, but is your hand all right?
It's like my future self and me from South Park, where Stan cuts his hand off and he's like, "Oh, it was fake." She sees that Willow has this hand injury and is like, "All right, I gotta hurt my hand, I guess."
She's like, ow.
It's great to have you back in the UK. It's better to have Harlem back on this show. We've missed the Harlem run-ins.
I knew it. That's what I said on True Hill Heat. I was like, this will be the last flagship I'm here, but the bright side is you then get Harlem to return. And everybody in the chat was like, yeah, she's the real star. You're not. You're just a co-star now.
100%. 100%. That's what this show has been missing. I mean, Joel's gone, thank God, but we got Harlem back. This is a huge upgrade out here. Man.
It's like a team that like loses somebody in free agency, but like Tyrese Halliburton, who's been out all year, is coming back from the Pacers. It's like, oh, but we got Tyrese back. We fine.
Yeah, I might need Harlem just co-host Wednesday with me. I'm still without a Wednesday co-host, so just me and Harlem bantering about for 2 hours on a Wednesday. I mean, you can make her watch NXT. I wouldn't put my child through that, but
I wouldn't do that.
We don't even have to talk about NXT or wrestling or anything. Just out here. Whatever Harlem wants to talk about is what we will talk about.
The best in the game. the best in the game.
Everybody, you can leave a thumbs up on the video. We're about 5 minutes into the show right now. You can leave a thumbs up on the video. Leave us a super chat, get your question, comment, statement read on the air. Tap the bell for notifications. Subscribe to the channel. Clips going up every day. Shorts going up every day. I've somehow been on the ball for 3 days now, so
You've been doing well. You've been doing very well.
One-man show out here doing all of these things, but it's fun. You get to flex a little creative muscle on that kind of stuff. Tony Khan is counter programming us right now with his all-in.
Is he doing the call now?
Yeah. Which
I guess he's already in the UK, so it makes sense.
Which I'm okay with. I'm okay with, because now I don't have to cover it. Oh, it's kind of nice actually. Just read kind of the whatever's going on.
Or you can have it on in the background and give us updates.
Nah, I just look at Twitter. I'll just look at Twitter and see what people are saying about it. I don't need to actually listen to what Tony says. I can just answer all the questions for Tony,
I just need to hear the question and I will give you what Tony's gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. Can you call in live? Is that allowed? I could, I think, but Sean is on the call. So
okay.
Sean's covering it. I did think of asking him of can I simulcast with this? But you can't do the call. You can't stream the call. So that would be sort of the issue.
Violation.
Yeah, you would only hear my side, my question. You could not hear anything else Tony said. So it'd probably be a little bit strange. We're just having a conversation, then I get called on, and it's oh shit! All right, hold on 1 second.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just do this real quick.
Mute everything, and we're supposed to be joined by MLW's Brick Savage at 10:30, so it'd be even more awkward if I got called on during the 10:30 to 11 o'clock portion. Hold on, Brick, I gotta ask Tony Khan a question right here.
When can you hire Brick Savage?
yeah, that should be my question to Tony Khan. Tony, I'm also doing an interview with Brick Savage right now. Is there any interest in Brick Savage?
Have you seen his work? Are you a fan of his work?
That would be a unique question. Nobody else is going to ask Tony about Brick Savage, I'm sure. I guess the big notes from the media call right now are they're really happy with IWTV, and the AEW, the gate is approaching 6 million. So there you go.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. They seem like they're gonna get 45. I wouldn't be surprised if they got 45 on the next update today, because it's been moving very well. Now it's, I think the last time I heard was now the projection is 47,000.
Oh yeah, I can see 47.
I don't know what they could do if they want to get up to 50. They should have just announced or have a very heavy tease of New Day. If they plan on having New Day in this trios title match on Sunday, they have underserved that whole build completely.
See, I'm not sure they're gonna be there now.
Me either. After last night and after we've seen over the last couple of weeks, it's not as a foregone conclusion as that first segment when Swerve came back. They have not done the steps that we talked about after that episode, or me and Jimmy talked about after that episode. We were talking about them, and even on Trio Heat, we were talking, me, John, and Josh were talking about they need to do vignettes of unicorns running in the field. And then you have the Young Bucks find a stack of pancakes backstage. And then Christian and Cope are talking, and they find some trombone sitting in their locker room. Little overt teases like that, I think would have built the anticipation. There's no anticipation for New Day other than the fans' speculation.
Yeah, it's all just heavy speculation right now. This is not, CM Punk in Chicago where they told you without telling you. And that's why, if they don't show up at All In, I don't think people can be disappointed off of that. I'm sure they will be, because, people just they talk themselves into these things, and if it doesn't happen, they'll be disappointed off of it. But I don't think they've actually made enough references. They haven't made any. People just kind of surmised it because Swerve was okay, I'll get partners, and people okay, New Day, that's who it is.
Yeah,
there was really no hint that it was New Day. That was just what people thought it was going to be or who it was going to be. Yeah, I think if they don't show
They
up,
didn't-
people can't.
They didn't even
really be
announce what the
disappointed.
match is going to be
No,
on Sunday.
no, we have no idea what it is because there's like 20 teams that I think are going to be in this thing right now, and like we've talked about, I don't think that's the new day. That's the good way to debut New Day is in a 20 team trios match. Honestly, so maybe they come out after the match. Maybe they come out after Bucks, Cope, and Christian. Like
Yeah.
that's a possibility as well. But if they don't end up showing up, then like I can't really say that's a disappointment, at least from an expectation level. Like it might be a disappointment of like, oh man, it would have been cool to see them here, but my expectation is they're not going to be there. So maybe that's the plan as well, is you don't expect it. We have lowered your expectations and now we over deliver. I always think that's the correct way to go about things.
Yeah, that seems like a good way to go about it. But I mean, there was a lot of strange elements about Dynamite, but I think the most baffling thing was closing the go home show with Swerve and Jack Perry. That was just like, what are we like? Because we talked about it off air, and I'll say it here. I watched the live feed for Dynamite last night. I didn't watch the feed that came on TBS and my AEW. And when I saw Swerve and Jack Perry main eventing, I literally to myself I must have said, that's probably not the order they're going to do this show. They should probably end the show with the Ospreay promo or one of the Continental Cup matches. That's the right way. If I'm editing the show, you did the show and you had Swerve and Jack Perry. And it's a big first-time matchup, but it has absolutely nothing to do with Sunday. It's two people that haven't been confirmed or announced for a match at All In going up against one another. And then commentary said nothing about what's in store for them at All In after the matchup. There was no angle after the matchup. And yes, the show did close with the video package for Ospreay and Omega. But how we saw it on the live feed, the Ospreay promo segued right into the video package. So I guess they wanted to have it seem like they were bookending with the final builds to Omega and Ospreay. But in actuality, that kind of felt like that was just short of what it needed to be on the final week. Yes, we got Ospreay talking, and he was great in his promo, and that video package was outstanding. One of the best that AEW has ever picked together. There was two things missing from the final build to Omega and Ospreay. It's one, Will Ospreay was put through a table last week with a one-wing angel and just came out like nothing happened. Commentary never mentioned it. He never mentioned it. He kind of just did the final sell for the big show instead of acknowledging what happened the week prior. And two, yes, Kenny Omega wasn't there. And I wish he was there, but if he's not going to be there, the simplest thing for you to do is do a pre-tape last week with his reaction after what he did to Ospreay. That was missing from last night's show.
Yeah, Kenny Omega not being there was, I don't know if it was a travel thing. It couldn't have been a choice, because if it was a choice, it was a bad choice. Like, it feels like your world champion's got to be there on the final show before your big show. Yeah, when Ospreay opened the show and was like, "Hey, Kenny's not here tonight." I was like, "Really? Is he going to show up? Like, is this like a joke that Kenny's not here? Like, he is actually going to show up at some point," which wouldn't make sense because Kenny's the heel. So why would Ospreay say, "Yeah, the heel's not showing up," and then the heel shows up and the crowd's excited? Is like, "Oh, look, the heel actually shows up." It would have made more sense if Omega did the heel thing of like, Ospreay's not going to be here tonight. I took him out. You're not going to see him. And then we get Will at the end of the show. But Will did his promo, and like a fine promo. It wasn't like Danielson level promo before All In like that.
Yeah, but I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. That was like a 9.5 out of 10. This was an 8 out of 10. That's really good.
Like the Danielson, that's what I kind of compare a lot of these go home promos to at this point.
It's also like, it wasn't like Danielson came out and just did a promo in the ring like Will did. Danielson got some offense, hits the Psycho knee on Swerve, and then gets very passionate, very heated because he just got physical. If you have Omega on the show and you can have Ospreay coming out with the neck brace, rip off the neck brace, then attack Omega, Omega runs out, and then he cuts that promo, I think it's much different.
Sure, but that's not what they did. Like what they did was Ospreay just there cutting a promo and talking about just his journey through the British independent scene, and then saying he respects Kenny, but he's gonna beat Kenny, and his son will continue to look up to him. I was like, all right, yeah. It didn't sell me as much as they'd kind of already sold me. Like I think if you were sold on this match, you were probably sold on this match. I don't know if this actually got anybody else like, all right,
I don't think they did anything last night that sold anybody, that got anybody more excited for any of the matches on the card. Willow and Mercedes, last week you were arguing that build was better than Ospreay and Omega, and they got 2 minutes of time backstage on the Go Home show.
They should have just aired the entire. They should have aired the entire Up Close.
Yes, the up close did a better job of building up this and getting me excited for that matchup than anything they have done on television last night.
Yeah, that up close was amazing. That 100% should have sold or should have been on the show. I realize it was like 25 minutes, so you're probably not going to air that entire thing. But I don't know, cut something from the show. At least air like pieces of it. Like I guess because that ended in an attack and then we already saw the attack from Mercedes, like maybe you didn't want to just kind of double the attacking type thing, but that was good business, that the up close with them. Alas, it did not happen.
It really felt, and then we said this last week, it really felt like last week was the go home angles. Yeah. For the top, at least for the top two matches at All In. They went hard body with Omega and Ospreay, making that the show long narrative and giving that a proper final build. And this is the only thing that I wish they would have done last night. That I was totally fine with that being the final build last week. I like the Ospreay promo, and I do think that the video package probably did the best job of anything on the show of selling people on a matchup at All In. But having Kenny not on the show in any which way, if he's not going to be there physically, just do a pre-tape. Like, I don't understand why you don't have him in any kind of capacity on the show outside of the video package. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm okay with him not being at the show. At least play a pre-tape from last week. You knew he wasn't going to be here last week. So you should have done a pre-tape to have him some type of presence, some type of message after what he did last week. And then not acknowledging, having Will just come out all regular degula from last week to this week. That was also a mistake.
And not having anything with Kenny, again, just felt so awkward. And not even if it's just here's what happened last week after the show went off the air. You catch up with Kenny backstage, and
that's what I thought they should have done. Like, I'm not asking for anything from him at home, but you knew last week the way they did last week, they knew Kenny wasn't going to be here this week. They did the go home angles on last week's show, the sit down interview, and then the post match after to end the show. They knew last week Kenny wasn't going to be here, so why not just film a pre-tape last week?
Tony Khan says he hopes the show will be done by 5 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, he said it's going to be a 4-hour show, which checks out. I'm pretty sure all of the London shows
all of them
have been 4 hours. Yeah, last year
they have
Texas
with Wembley.
Yeah, last year in Texas was 20 hours because they just wanted to run against Saturday night's main event, and they didn't have to get the hell out of there because last year in Texas also started early, but it started early in the U.S. Like they were in the U.S., so it wasn't late elsewhere. So yeah, that's why they were able to run like a 20-hour show last year. So I fully believe it'll just be a 4-hour show. That's not super.
Yeah, 5 hours with the pre-show.
I think it's a 2-hour pre-show.
Well, I know it's going to be a 2-hour pre-show, but I expect 1 hour of talking and then 1 hour of matches.
Yeah. Overall, it's still a 2-hour because the pre-show starts at 11 and the main show starts at 1. So, and Tony says he wants to be done by 5. Great. That means the press conference will be done by 8. I hope about 3 hours for the press conference. So hopefully that is the case. All right, we are joined by our guest, and then we'll get back into everything else. He's early. We appreciate that. We appreciate the timeliness here, the earliness. If he is ready.
Punctual.
To go. Yes, punctualness. Thank you, SP3. All right, he's telling hold off, I think, for a second. All right. So we'll give them a second to kind of get set up and everything.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. I was just reading the email, and then they just sent me the email to confirm that I am attending tomorrow.
You should say no. You should say...
You didn't let me know in time. You didn't let me know 24 hours in advance.
Yeah. It's like, nah, can't make it. Sorry. Send me some, send me some guests to be on this show is what you should ask.
Like pass some someone show up on Friday episode. So
yeah, we should get some.
I get to see
Friday's episode.
I get to see Adrian tomorrow. That should be fun.
Oh, he traveled. He made the trip over there.
Yeah, he put a post on social media that he's heading to All In. So I comment under it, and I was like, oh, so we're getting food and drinks after media day and probably after Wembley. That's fun.
Nice. All right, tell Adrian I said hi. Love Adrian. Adrian, I might have to ask him to host the Wednesday show moving forward because still need somebody. We'll figure it out.
And I don't know who else is. I know a few people from other outlets that are going, but like Sat is on vacation, so he's not going to Wembley Stadium. Made Will all sad because of that. And then Alex is also on vacation. I think he comes back on Saturday. So he doesn't know if he's going to Wembley. So at least I have one friend in Adrian go.
Well, I mean, McCarthy kind of sucks anyway, so that's not a big loss, honestly.
Well, I guess. I mean,
that's not really a big loss if we're being honest.
Wait, other Mikey said Tony also said All In will be 8 matches. So is the trios title match going to be on the pre-show?
So one of the announced matches isn't going to be on the main show, I guess. I feel like Tony's lying.
I feel like he's lying.
Love Tony, but I feel like he's lying here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be crazy though. It would be crazy though if that trios match makes the main card and he pushes the women's tag title match to the
2 matches because they already have 9 matches announced and the trios match is not one of them. So
wait, I thought that was the 9th match. No.
Oh no, it is. Sorry, I can't read.
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the trios match. So if you're putting a TBS title match, that's probably pre-show as well.
Which they kind of set up on last night's show. We'll talk about.
They did. Yeah. New Day's not showing up. Then they ain't debuting them on a pre-show.
No
way.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I can't see that at all. Sorry, I misread the card. I didn't see the trios match at first, but then I did. I don't know what else. That women's tag could get pushed to
the 0 hour.
Yeah, but Tony's gonna have a ride on his hands if he does 2 women's titles matches on 0 hour.
Yo,
one of those matches got to make the main card.
Like, just give them a 10-minute sprint on the main card. I think Divine Dominion and Brawling Birds will be awesome if that's the case.
I mean, Omega and Ospreay is going about 80 minutes, I would imagine.
I think we're like at the minimum an hour with entrances.
Oh yeah, with entrances, 100%. I think the match is going like 40 minutes, so
I can see that
at the very least. So yeah. All right, let's see if Brick is ready. He can give me a thumbs up. All right, we are good to go. All right, folks. He is MLW from MLW. He is part of the Contra unit, making his in-ring debut this Saturday on MLW Fusion 6:05. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on BN Sports. You can watch it on New Japan World, and you can watch it on Veeps as well. You can find it just about anywhere. He is the one, the only Brick Savage. Brick, how you doing this morning?
Yo, I'm good. I'm feeling great.
We appreciate you joining us. So again, we appreciate you being punctual with everything.
If there's one thing I'm going to do, it's going to be on time. I'm going to be on time.
Wrestlers can be hit and miss with that. Sometimes they're 20 minutes late and sometimes they're 5 minutes early. I don't know if anybody's 20 minutes early, but they can be hit and miss. I appreciate that you were 5 minutes early.
Yeah. I'm good with time. That's kind of how part of my thing is I'm obsessed with time. So that kind of falls into place with everything else.
When we'll get into MLW here in a second, but now I got to learn more about this like time obsession. Did like something happen where you were late to something or you were early to something and it changed the course of your life here?
No, this is part of what I designed with the character. I had this White Widow spider. There's an hourglass on the back of it, right? And then the gist of like what makes Brick kind of like be them is their obsession with spiders and time. So like space, time travel things. All those deals kind of turn in my head with how I operate and stuff and how I kind of get away with being able to manipulate things and looking into different paths. Okay,
are you a comic book fan as well?
Yeah. I used to collect comics, it's been quite a while. I used to collect comics and stuff like that. So that was a big deal for me for a while.
Favorite comic?
This sound funny. So there was a time when you had Planet Hulk go to Worldbreaker Hulk. That whole run was great. But there was also one afterwards, Indestructible Hulk, where he basically had the kind of technology that Tony would and built this kind of suit deal. That was a great one. And basically any fucking Hulk run was fantastic to me. So, and then after that, they had this Immortal Hulk. Those are probably like three of my biggest favorite ones were those three series.
Okay. So I'm currently watching, I guess it's the third Spider-Man movie of the new series. Have you seen the ones with Tom Holland?
Tom Holland.
And yeah, this is the multiverse one where they have the.
Say that again. At least like the fourth one, right?
The fourth one.
Yeah, they're at the fourth one.
Yeah,
now.
I'm way behind.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm catching up on things. So I'm watching.
I did just watch Brand New Day. Yeah, I did watch that one. I was pretty happy with the way Hulk was displayed in this one. It's tough being a Hulk fan in the MCU, man. So
it literally, I think that I saw like a factoid that it's the first time on screen that Mark Ruffalo had the Hulk transform into, like, he transformed into him in Avengers 1, but it's the first time that Hulk forced him to transform on screen.
Yeah. So it was good to see finally him back in a glorious form. Big fan of the first Hulk movie before the MCU, with the size of the character, the speed, and all the features you normally get. So it was good to see that Hulk had a little something there.
Let's talk a little bit about MLW here. You've been signed since earlier this year, and there was immediately said they had big plans for you. And I know they've done tapings. I get in trouble for spoiling everything from the taping, so I will not spoil anything from here. But tell us how you're feeling about MLW so far, and then your in-ring debut this Saturday.
I'm feeling good. I feel like the trajectory that I'm on and the effort that I'm putting in is going to be on full display, and very quickly at that. So the debut that's happening this Saturday, you can kind of get to see a little bit of taste of what I'm going to bring to the table. And I feel like it's going to have a good impact on where I'm going to go in the future for sure.
So what went into the decision to join forces with Contra Unit? Because they have really been the lead faction in MLW for like the last 7 years. So what went into that decision?
I think it's a big no-brainer for me. The character of Brick and myself, the level of danger in which I can bring from immediately walking out is on full display every time, right? So I don't look very friendly. I don't work well with others that have this kind of like moral compass of things. And being in Contra Unit, I fit that description of danger. And it to me, it was a no-brainer that's where I needed to go. Absolutely.
you just like wreck dudes, and I love it.
Yeah.
Please tell me more about your finisher, where you just toss them, and it's like a kind of modified angle slam for people who haven't seen it. It starts as like a pump handle, and then goes on to an angle slam. Please tell me how that came together.
That's just one of my finishers. I've got like 6. I've got like 6. That's just the newest one. The idea behind that deal, I like the imagery of the way I set things up, and this one has one of the kind of spider-esque kind of visuals to me, where they're kind of caught in this web and they're kind of stuck there. You have nowhere to go, and then to be yanked off of your feet over someone's head and then turned inside out. To me, it just sets up this alluriness of power, precision, and the innate ability to just demolish people in a fraction of a second. And it has all that all in one. So I might have stolen it from somebody who did it a certain way, and the way I did it is different, because I literally power cleaned someone's body up almost over my head, and then I turn them inside out. So I thought it was a good way to display all those things in one.
I think you hit it on like smaller dudes, and yeah, I'm afraid you're gonna like toss them up into the ceiling in some of these figures.
The first dude I hit it on was like 360. The first 3 guys were at least 280 pounds and higher. So I've hit it on very large individuals. It just happened to be like when I hit it on the biggest, the tallest one I've hit it on, I think it was KJ Orso, and I threw him up so high he came out of my hands, then on my shoulder, then I spun him around, right? So I can do it to virtually anybody. It's the shape of the body that kind of changes the moves and the way I'll pick something to do something to somebody. I have another finisher that I call the 12-6 that I will basically, it's like an inverted exploder suplex. So for back suplex setup, toss them in the air, spin them, and then lay them flat on their face, right? So that is the one I consider my actual finish, because like that one I kind of created on my own, and I didn't steal from somebody, right? So that one's just as powerful to me, because I'll throw somebody literally in the air, right, upward, boom, and then grab them and then spit them inside out as well. So you do like this backward moonsault thing, get turned inside out. It's it's a sight to see.
So you have like so much creativity with your moves, and so impressive with all your power. What was kind of the thing that drew you in the beginning to professional wrestling? Like, what part of your personality did you think that you can flourish in pro wrestling with?
I think at its core is I'm an entertainer, and that's something I've been with different sports that I've been in, from football to track, wrestling, powerlifting. I have a good time being entertaining and getting the reactions out of people. So when I retired from pro powerlifting, it kind of was something that just fell into place, because I'd been wrestling when I was younger, and that aspect of being able to kind of be larger than life was kind of always there. But at this point, getting into wrestling, it is grown exponentially, the entertainment factor, and being able to create something that is very eye appealing, and like you get to see danger and kind of feel scared and maybe kind of attracted. You're not sure what it is. It's very confusing, but you want to see more of it. So that has been very, very fun to me to kind of build upon all of that.
Was Abaddon your bloodiest match?
No.
Oh, you're amazing. Like, it's not even close, and I feel like that thing was. It was both of y'all were.
It was pretty good, but it was not my bloodiest match. I've had 2 that were pretty substantially bad. The first one was with Demus from Mexico. That dude he's a gremlin. And then my best friend Dmitry Alexandrov. That one, I got this nifty little scar on the side of my head and the side of my face from that one. Ended up being probably my bloodiest one because it was about 20-25 minutes of me bleeding profusely in that one. So yeah, that one was probably one of the ones.
How did the scar and the blood come about in that one?
Light tube. It's always light tube. I'm not a big fan of light tubes, but for this story, I'll play into this deal, and like I said, it's not something I generally would want to do, and it was immediate. The very first spot, I'm talking 30 seconds in, was a light tube, boom, to my face, and it just sliced. It was like wrapped in Christmas lights. It didn't really break right. Yeah, and the way it was thrown, it hit my face and just immediately sliced my forehead open, sliced my face open, and from that point on, I just had this crimson mass the entire time until it was over.
Oh, the Abaddon one was pretty gnarly. I'm not seeing the other two. Apologies, but yeah, I've seen the Abaddon one, and and the visual of you and them as well is completely, kind of absurd in some ways, because they're a little bit smaller and you are a little bit bigger, and the way you were tossing them was just insane. So
Abaddon's a beast. I'm a big fan of them, and it's the gusset plate. The gusset plate deal will get you leaking very easily. So that deal had happened, and seeing their white outfit go from pristine white to covered in crimson was kind of insane. It was definitely one of my funnest times to have in doing one of those, and I think that was my last one for
sure. So what style of match do you enjoy the most? Like, you've been in these bloody matches, you've been against like smaller competitors you can toss around. I know you've been in the ring with bigger competitors that can kind of do some moves to you as well. So what kind of like style of matchup do you enjoy to do the most?
Well, I mean, for example, like being at MLW, right? I feel like those style of matches really fit me very well. They're not prolonged. They're not. I don't mind doing a longer match for the story purposes of it, but I like things that are punchy to the point, and you kind of get the aspect of what the character is, who the people are, what the story is, and the gravity in which the danger that I present. It really is very effective in a 6 to 7 minute type deal where you get to see like, oh shit, this may go south very quickly, and it does. And then how do they get out of this? They figure that way out, and then it goes whichever way it goes. But I like my singles matches because I like to be able to have that story built in that time. I'm not a big fan of multi-man matches, but when I'm in them, they are fun because I get to have basically Brick Savage highlight reel is what happens. So like, it's less of me trying to tell a story in those and me just hitting these bits and pieces of these highlights, where it's like watching a movie monster horror villain pop in and out of the screen, and the main character is trying to run for their life until they get to the end. And sometimes, the good guy just does not win and they're dead.
You're from Texas, and the Texas scene might be the strongest in the U.S. Like overall, it's the amount of talent that has come out of Texas. I don't know, what is it? Is it something in the water down there?
Oh, big time. I've been to a lot of places, and I feel like the caliber of wrestler here is in abundance. I don't know. I've heard some things about the way where Texas wrestling, people want to get out of this deal, and I do agree that people in Texas should branch out of Texas. But having my home base here, and the representation for Texas is something that I really appreciate, because then you get to have this imagery of this everything's bigger from Texas, and me coming out of it, that makes perfect sense, right? So I feel like it fits me just well, and that's why I love staying here.
Now that Sam Stackhouse guy though, he kind of sucks though.
Listen, Stackhouse is something else for sure. I've been all over the place. I've wrestled him several times. And overall great dude for sure. And me and him have put on some solid matches of just fucking beating the shit out of each other.
He's over here. He's like, oh, KJ Orso. KJ turns on him, and then KJ's threatening his partner, and then he just aligns with KJ. Like, come on now, I'm not respecting this out of Stackhouse.
Listen, you gotta find the purpose there in the gist of all this deal, and being in KJ's shadow, right, will do something to your confidence. And what better way to get out of someone's shadow than to join them and then outshine them, right? So I think things have a rhyme and reason for how they go, and when you find that innate purpose underneath all of that, the layers of that, you get to see people's true intentions.
Okay, I can respect that answer. I do love Sam. I'm just messing. He's been on our show a handful of times, and he's a fantastic person. But I'm trying to get him heat here, because he's a bad person now.
those intentions will come true sometime soon. We'll see.
He's already threatened to put me through a table. A lot of people have. It's kind of upsetting how many people want to put me through a table. But
I mean, so far you haven't pissed me off, and I haven't wanted to put you on the table. So you're on a good track right now.
I need you to help me against some of these people.
Put him through a table, Brick.
Listen,
you can toss him.
I'm the last person you want help from. I have literally turned on every one of my partners, my best friend.
No.
I have ruined lives of people close to me. That is just par for the course for me. I am innate in my core a liar. I'm a mathematical liar. I'm a manipulator. Rick is not somebody you want to be friends with. I mean, you can. It'd be great, right? Until you do something where I don't like it, and then I plot something horrendous and heinous to you, and then by the time it happens, you were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this happened." Yeah, it's too late by then.
Well, Brick, good talking to you. I hope to see you around.
Well, no, I was going to ask about that because you said something interesting there. You've always turned on any of your partners. Yeah. And I was going to ask you about Contra Unit, because Contra Unit kind of has that kind of similar trait to them. Jacob Fatu, Max Kruger. Yeah. So which one of y'all, Contra Unit or Brick Savage, is more untrustworthy?
So I think the gist of Contra and realizing where everybody comes from sets you up for success of being wary of everything and everyone. And I feel like the unity of that lets you know that as long as I do what I'm supposed to do, then I don't have to worry about anything. The problem with the people that I turn on, they've always done something they weren't supposed to do, or they've failed, or they've come up short. And everybody in Contra Unit isn't coming up short. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So I don't see any problem with me, anybody on the team, in Contra Unit as a whole. So laser focus is what I see, and that's what's so alluring there.
Brick, before we do let you go, we do play a game on the channel. It's called Partner Promo Punch in the Face. I'm going to give you 3 names. Pick one to partner with, pick one to promo against, pick one to punch in the face, all right?
Punching all 3 in the face.
I respect it.
Yeah.
With one swing, he going to put them in a row.
Yeah, Wouldn't be the first time.
I feel like you could just throw one at the other 2 and they'd all fall down.
Yeah, wouldn't be the first time.
I'm going to give you 3 MLW names who your path could cross with at any point in MLW. So we're going to go with the reigning champion, Killer Cross. We're going to go with a former champion, Matt Riddle. And we are going to go with another champion, the Southern Crown champion, Trevor Lee.
Trevor Lee punched in the face immediately.
Is it because he's from the South?
His hair's stupid. I'll Dang. I'd partner with I partner with Cross in promo against Riddle. Clearly, I'm winning the promo against Riddle for sure, but the partner with Cross it's going to end where it's supposed to end. So if I partner with Cross, I think there is some parallels to the thought process Killer Cross and I have, but inevitably it will end where it's supposed to end, and that's me beating the shit out of Cross.
If you turn on every partner, then
exactly.
This really does end with you're going to punch a person.
Yeah.
That's going to end in a match. You're going to promo. That obviously leads to a match. And a partner, since you turn on every partner, that's going to lead to a match. So,
I'm good with these games. At the end, I punched all three in the face. So
yeah. So in the end, you did accomplish what you were going for there. Rick, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. Let everybody know where they can find you at and what you got coming up.
Oh yeah, first you can see me on the debut for MLW Fusion this Saturday, that's for sure. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Worldbreaker Savage and on Twitter at BrickSavage7. That's where you get all the highlights and everything where I'm at next. So yeah, and I think the next few ones you're going to see me at MLW are going to be quite the fun. That's all I can say.
We look forward to it. I say anybody who's against you, watch your front, and anybody who's with you, watch their back. So thank you so much, Brick. Have a good rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, man. There you go. Brick Savage, everybody. A lot of fun. First time on the show and never know what to expect from that kind of stuff. But he was fantastic. So I'm sure
it's awesome.
It was through MLW. I assume he'll be on the show in 2 weeks again. So
we'll have him 8 times, like Trevor Lee. Everyone's trying to catch Trevor Lee for most interviews.
Shout out to Brick. They're fantastic. We did during the interview. It was announced that it is a casino roulette royale. Trios roulette royale is the gimmick here, which that's just a casino gauntlet, right? Like, except every team gets to enter instead of like you gotta wait.
Oh,
so the teams
roulette, casino roulette. What?
So the teams are the Dogs, the Bang Bang Gang, Conglomeration, Hangman Bandito Brody, Demand, and Death Riders, and a wild card team, which I assume is Swerve and the
New Day.
Yeah. It's staggering inches, which is what I thought. But I'm saying it's just a casino gauntlet, right? There's no I
think they did say that the match will air on the buy-in, so it's going to be one of those buy-in into the main card deals. I think they have everybody come in during the buy-in until the wild card, and then the wild card comes in at the top of the show.
That makes sense. Yeah. I could see it playing out like that. All right, well, there's your official 9th match. I guess
at least we know. At least we know now.
Yeah.
At least we know.
So
that's why he's saying it's an 8-match card, but it's really going to be a 9-match main card.
Right. So if they do a TBS title match, that's on the pre-show then.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think I already knew that. I was like, I knew that All In 2024 had 9 matches on the main card. So I was like, I don't want them to try to push it or try to shorten some matches by pushing the TBS title match. I was like, TBS title match, you do need Maya World on this card and the TBS championship on this card, but it could be on the 0 hour. You already have 2 matches that you've kind of been building or wanted to do for quite some time on the main card. I wouldn't want just a haphazardly, we got to get the TBS title on here, so let's shoe this one in that we already seen on Dynamite before with her and Persephone. It makes more sense to put that on the 0 hour.
And I'm fine with it being on the 0 hour because they haven't really done anything to build a TBS title match, because you did the 4-way a couple weeks ago. We just saw Maya lose, and we just saw Maya lose. So it's not like she has a ton of momentum going into All In or anything. So I'm okay with it being on the pre-show, I just feel a little bit bad for Maya that it's, you know, not on the main show with everything else, and it just kind of feels like an afterthought thing. But you know, at least she's on the show and not Tekla.
After the quality of the Sheeta match from Redemption, I'm okay with this being on the show.
I'm with you. I get it. Again, at least she's actually.
If this was something different, like if they would have listened to you and had Tekla like attack her after last week's 4-way, then that's something that does deserve to be on the main card. But it's not announced yet. They're probably not going to announce it until like Collision, so it just makes sense to put that on the 0 hour.
Yeah. And then it was also confirmed Willow is dealing with a legit hand injury. It seems like it's a broken hand. That's pretty unfortunate because it feels like that's given away the results a little bit. I mean, I think Mercedes was always going to win, but you could talk yourself into Willow winning. Now it's like, you're going to have Willow win and then like immediately vacate because I don't think she's going to keep wrestling with a broken hand.
I mean, she has been dealing with a lot of injuries this year. Like that's one of the questions that I plan on asking her tomorrow is like everything going on with the injuries. Like, of course, the hand injury is one thing, but we still don't have a lot of information on the shoulder injury that she had a couple of months ago. So I'm going to ask her about that as well. But yeah, it does kind of seem like we have made it a foregone conclusion. Mercedes new champion on Sunday.
I got cinema for you, SP3. Before the match on Sunday, here comes Willow Nightingale. She's going to defend the title allegedly, but she says, "You know what? Between the shoulder and between my hand, I just can't wrestle tonight. I can't do it. Mercedes Moné is not taking my smile. I've lost my smile. And I'm going to give up this championship, and whatever happens may happen. But I've lost my smile, and I need to go away, and I need to find my smile again."
And then Willow's going to come back. She's going to have a match with Chris Statlander on an episode of Dynamite. And then all of a sudden, she's going to collapse. And they're going to put her on a stretcher. And then the week after that, we're going to have a video package for Willow. And it's going to be like, tell me a lie and make it go away. Tell me why.
Here's why I love this, by the way. Because how did Willow lose the TBS title?
She vacated it.
And now she vacates the women's title instead of like getting pinned. Imagine an alternate universe, 90s Shawn Michaels. Michaels.
Do the smile.
It's a 90s Shawn Michaels, but it's Willow Nightingale.
This is just hilarious. Willow got into a fight with 12 army dudes at a bar. She was just doing all the Shawn Michaels bits.
Yeah. You would not think of Willow as being the 90s Shawn Michaels of today because, you know, she's sweet and bubbly and everything's great. You know, she's not causing any drama backstage. She's not holding anybody down. She's not doing a bunch of drugs and out of her mind.
She becomes an authority figure for AEW.
I want Willow as 90s Shawn Michaels, where she doesn't lose the titles. She only vacates them. I do think, by the way, the Mercedes isn't taking my smile. I've just lost it line before vacating.
That's actually pretty good.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. That's kind of pretty good. That's good. I got to give you credit for that. That's why I'm entertaining it. Usually I don't even entertain your ideas, but this is actually not that bad. It's something I can jump on board with.
So Willow apparently is dealing with a legitimate hand injury. That's
apparently Mercedes Moné is Edward Scissorhands.
Dude, those nails were insane.
The claws? I was like, yo, what is she, Catwoman?
I was like, she's gonna claw her eyes out here. Like, what she better not touch Willow, because Willow's gonna lose a limb off of these things.
Like, just poke her in the eye. She'll have an eye injury going into the Sunday.
Absolutely insane.
She was definitely Lady Deathstrike. Not even Wolverine. She was Lady Deathstrike from X2.
Yeah, that was. I liked it. Pedro was saying Lady Deathstrike as well. So there you go.
But like I said earlier, it was disappointing. Like to just do another 2, because you already did this during the build where you gave us the attack portion of the close-up special 2 weeks ago with the TKO people in the audience asking for Sasha to come back, and then you turn around, you do an excellent segment last week with the pull-apart brawl, and then you give us this. Like, that was a letdown. Like, I'd much rather have had them go the Kenny and Will route of last week was the go home. We're just gonna re-emphasize everything that we did last week. We're going to show a video package of their whole entire feud, and we're going to have separate promos of Mercedes and Willow on the show. I think that would have been a more effective way of making it feel like a big time matchup. But honestly, AEW is doing some of their best work to build up the show on their YouTube channel. The Will Ospreay rebuild and destroy videos have been great. The stuff with his mom was awesome. I saw that yesterday. And then the close-up with Willow and Mercedes, that did way more than anything they did last night or what they did in Vegas.
I thought the close-up was absolutely fantastic. The way it was shot together as well, being a separate but dual interview. I thought that was really, really good. And like I said, should just aired that on Dynamite, because Dynamite, it didn't feel like this was the big sell for the biggest show of the year. The crowd wasn't good either. SP3 and I were talking about this offline, since we both watched the live Raw feed. We weren't sure if maybe in post they upped the crowd a little bit, because in the Raw feed, crowd was dead for a good chunk. Of the show.
And the crazy part is the last 2 years, the go home before their European pay-per-views have been really strong. That's what made last night so strange. Like, I remember, were they in Glasgow 2 years ago for the Bryan promo?
Yes. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, because they had that Bryan promo that was memorable from that show. They had the MJF and Will Ospreay promo where MJF talks about that kid's not even yours, about talking about his family and stuff. That was really strong go home segment. And they did I think they did like a contract signing with Mercedes and Britt. That was really memorable. Like, they had 3 memorable things on that go home show. I think I forget what they did before Forbidden Door, but I know they did a European show then. I know the last European Dynamite was the one in Manchester that had MJF returning to set up the World's End matchup. And it had that amazing Speedball Mike Bailey versus Kyle Fletcher matchup. This feels like I was like I said to you before we started, it was good as a standalone episode of Dynamite, but as a go home episode before your biggest show of the year, it felt like a letdown. And a lot of that came down to the crowd. And a lot of that came down to there wasn't the memorables. Like I just named the last Wembley show, the go home show. There was 3 memorable segments that I remember from 2 years ago. Last night,
nothing.
Ask me in 2028, and I'll probably be like, Will cut a promo, and they had that great video package with Kenny and Will. But other than that, I don't remember much, because I thought the Continental Cup matches were good, but I felt like last week, Jay White and Jon Moxley was better than Moxley and Claudio. Moxley and Claudio was probably at the same level of Claudio and Daniel Garcia. That was a good matchup. Nigel and Kyle O'Reilly, I thought was a really good technical wrestling matchup. And honestly, even though it had no business being in the main event, Swerve and Jack Perry was better than the 2 C3 matches. And honestly, now that we're at the end and we're getting the matchup that seemed obvious to all of us after the Nigel injury, or even at the beginning of the tournament, the whole Continental Challenge Cup was a fucking waste of time. I don't care about, Jon Moxley has become overbearing to the creative process in AEW. He handicapped the beginning of the story with Ospreay and Omega because he wanted to do fucking Moxalogs and treat Will Ospreay like he's only been in wrestling for a year and he has to learn from the mighty and all wise 4-time champ. You gotta crawl through the dirt, and you're gonna have dirt in your fingertips, and you're gonna see that dirt, and it's gonna accumulate, and you're gonna accumulate till you become the ace of the company, till you hit that death ground, and then you hit that death ground, you're gonna know that you're ready for that next step, the next level, and you're one of the best in the business. You're a Death Rider. We're better. We're against the world. We're deaf. This is what we do, and that's all we heard for like 3 months to Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, when he came into this company, everybody and their mama was like, he's gonna be AEW World Champion. Yes, he had the neck injury and stuff, but the story was with Will and Kenny. It's always been with Will and Kenny. All that Mox shit was a detour that hurt the overall story of Will and Kenny. If Kenny would have been the trainer for Will, we would be talking about this build up to this matchup being one of the greatest of all time. We're talking about it coming out of the Go Home show like the match is going to be amazing, but the build hasn't been what we wanted it to be. And mainly it's been because of Jon Moxley. And then the whole entire build of All In, much of the time has been about the Continental Challenge Cup, which gave us 0 upsets, 0 matches that we thought had any type of, the result is in the air. We all knew Jon Moxley was going to the finals. It just was a fucking waste of time to get Jon Moxley his All-In matchup, when I'd much rather have preferred them just create a fucking story between Nigel and Jon Moxley. Nigel having an ankle injury and wrestling worse matches against Hechicero and Kyle O'Reilly is not what I fucking needed to get excited about Nigel McGuinness at Wembley Stadium. Fuck you.
Shut up, Dada!
I had something to add, but I can't add.
That was the perfect capper. That was the perfect capper.
I can't add anything to that. That's the cut on the clip right there. Whatever I say now is not making the clip. The cut is right there. Oh my gosh. What timing from Harlem.
Big Jon Moxley fan. That Harlem.
Yeah, Harlem's like, you will not speak ill of the ace of AEW. I don't disagree with any of that. I would have just preferred just do a story with Moxley. Like Moxley, he is the ace of AEW. Like why don't you just have a story for him going into All In instead of this tournament where last night the matches were good, but they weren't the best matches throughout the tournament. They weren't the best matches in the tournament over the last week, like you said. And because it was a pretty obvious like Moxley and Nigel final, it felt like they wasted the potential upset stuff just early with Moxley and like Jay White, and even Moxley and like Jack Perry and in the Nigel matches. It's like, oh well, Claudio's not beating Moxley. Like, I'm sorry, but that's
exactly. He just beat Moxley, and it became obvious after he beat Jay White, and the commentary went in, oh, he's 0-2 against Jay White. Can he finally beat Jay White? And it's just like, my nigga, y'all just did this story with Kyle O'Reilly. Y'all just did this story of Moxley avenging his previous loss with Kyle O'Reilly at Double or Nothing. And then you did it twice in this tournament for him to face Nigel. And yes, this is a swan song for Nigel. And I'll probably be forget about all my complaints about the Death Riders and Jon Moxley storytelling in the build to this matchup when I'm in Wembley Stadium watching Nigel McGuinness probably in his last match ever against Jon Moxley. I'll get sunk into the story then. The build to this, not what I would have done.
Moxley's going to win, and then they're going to play Nigel's music as a callback to people in the chat can answer this. Did they correct O'Reilly's music playing after Nigel won? And that was my reference. That was my reference there, is that Moxley's going to win and they'll play Nigel's music. Because on the Raw feed that SP3 and I watched, Nigel wins, and then they play Kyle's music.
I was so confused. I messaged Kate immediately. I was like, I know you love this matchup, but why did they play Kyle O'Reilly's music for Nigel's win?
So is that what happened after?
Okay, the other Mikey says they dubbed over both with Oasis.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Good. Yeah.
And they had to fix that in some way, because that was definitely a mishap. I don't know if they fixed this either, because you weren't as bothered by this as I was, but the MJF Andrade segment, MJF comes out and he's like, I can do everything Andrade does, and take a picture with a woman and do a catchphrase. And then he just, I have one question for everybody. And he does the OTC pose, and he does it for like 5 minutes.
It's like, what's the question?
Yeah.
What's the question?
He stood there for legitimately, I legitimately think it was like a minute long. At least it felt every bit of a minute or 2 minutes. And I was like, where is Andrade? What is happening here? Like, what are you going to do? And then Andrade finally came out and, attacked him and everything. But it just felt like he was standing there forever. And like, he just looked kind of stupid standing there for as long as he did. I'm like, at some point, like, you just move, dude. Like, you wouldn't just stand there the entire time, because you're basically tipping off that something's going to happen to you. And it feels less real when that happens. So I don't know if they cut that down or not, but people are saying it took a minute. So maybe they didn't cut that down. I feel like they should have in some way. I don't know if they could. I guess you could camera cut to somewhere else and then camera cut back, and then Andrade's there. I guess that would have been the way to do it, but it took forever. I'm like, oh, okay. But that was the build.
I actually enjoyed that little angle. I just thought that
I was fine
promo should have been longer.
I was fine with it. It just, I'm with you that MJF, I don't feel like he said too much. Like, I felt like MJF had a better promo in him for this. If that was where you're getting to. And again, it just kind of
this overall show just felt like the performers as well as Tony Khan was just trying to get through this episode instead of giving a hard sell to the All In and making this show kind of worthwhile on its own. I just thought that they kind of just went, we're just going to do this for this. We're going to do this for this. No hard sell. We're just trying to make sure everybody makes it to Sunday.
I understand. And people have said it, like, if you're an AEW fan, you're probably already sold on this show anyway. But I also think that's kind of the wrong way to look at this sort of stuff, because if you're an AEW fan, you're already sold on every show. Like, their fan base is their fan base at this point. They have a minimum number of buys that you're gonna hit, and it doesn't really matter what they kind of put on or how bad or disjointed the build might be. Everyone walks into an AEW pay-per-view thinking, like, I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to get probably one outstanding, at least one, like, just top tier, S tier match. And then I'm probably going to get 3 to 4, like, A tier matches. And then everything else is probably going to be B tier stuff. And that's it. And like, if something horrible goes wrong, then I might get a C or D match. But that's kind of what everyone walks into the pay-per-view just expecting and thinking. And so the fan base is kind of already sold on that. This is where you're looking to, of course, sell the people who just aren't the hardcore AEW fans. The people who, if they do a lot of media for these events. The people who, if they see Will Ospreay on some local show, they're like, hey, who's this guy? Oh, let me check out what's happening on Dynamite tonight. And then you watch that Dynamite and you're like, I don't know. They didn't really sell me on why I should buy this pay-per-view. I didn't really feel of why I should buy this pay-per-view. Like, that's who you're trying to sell these shows to.
Yeah, I wish they would have done more to kind of sell it for the people that aren't already sold. This was very much like, everybody's already sold on this show. We don't need to go hard on this go home show. And I thought that they really did, but they didn't. Tony,
he, spoiler alert, this happens on Collision. Although I think the final Collision segment, did you watch Collision on the Raw feed?
I did not watch Collision. I have that up for probably me watching before I go to sleep tonight.
Okay. Well, spoiler alert for people.
Oh, I know everything that happened already, but
all right, I'm letting our chat. I'm letting our chat know though. The Collision live ends with all the trios like doing a big brawl. That's how it ends live. But on the feed, it ends with Kyle Fletcher. On the feed, sorry, it has Kyle Fletcher attacking Takeshita. And at the end of the attack, Fletcher's like going up the ramp, and Tony Schiavone is like, that's all time for Collision, folks. Tune in tomorrow, AEW All In. So I think that's going to be the last segment on the show is Fletcher attacking Takeshita and not the big trios brawl. My point of all this is, Tony is half-assing this build when the show does not end with the multi-man brawls, because that's been the staple of every go-home AEW. And if Tony is not ending a show with the big multi-man brawl, he's like, all right, we're good. We're good here. I feel good about things. I don't need to do the big hot brawl to close it and get people really excited. We're okay with this.
Like, just look at like the last 2 years, like we said. 2 years ago in Glasgow or wherever they were for the go home show, they did the big angle with Brian attacking Swerve and then cutting this fired up promo about keeping his career alive and winning the title. Last year, before All In Texas, they did the big angle that hyped up Hangman and Moxley, as well as Swerve and Ospreay versus the Young Bucks, where they did the big multi-man tag with all those guys. Swerve destroying the Bucks limo outside while Hangman stood tall in the ring and the Death Riders were watching on from the outside. This go home, it ended with just a video package for the main event. Like, it didn't, there was no angle, no matchup. And like literally the week prior, they did a pair of trios matches of United Empire beating Don Callis family and the Elite beating the Don Callis family. You would assume that this week would be the Elite versus the United Empire. That would just seem like a no-brainer to book for this show, but no Kenny, no trios matchup. We did get a trios match with the Bucks, and they did an angle. I will say that was probably the best angle they've done for the Bucks versus Cope and Cage, though.
That was the best angle they've done, and said Cope did his little like gritchy.
Angry! I can't believe I did that.
I like this theory actually. Tony sees builds as progress bars. All his bars are close to 100, so he doesn't need to try harder. Tony's like,
he
we've already
like
hit
a video game, yeah. Video package.
Yeah,
put together a video package.
Yeah, we've already got 100% completion on this. Why am I still going here? We're good.
Mercedes said, well, they did the pull apart, bro. They had 100. Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes backstage. Fuck it.
I go back to my theory that Tony sometimes views this stuff as, I mean, it's not TEW, it's Rampage. He confirmed that to us. But he views this stuff as one of the booking simulation games of, all right, they've already got the heat at an A between Ospreay and Omega based on everything they've done. Well, I don't want to run another segment that, might fail and might drop the heat. I'll just run a video package because that's based on overness. They're already really over, so my heat's not going to fail. It's not going to drop off of that. So I'm good.
Smart theory, I guess. It's a good theory.
I believe sometimes Tony looks at this as it's TEW. And it works. I'm not even going to say that like he's wrong on some of this stuff. It does work. It's just there's a lot of evidence that this is the case here.
AEW put out a video. They just hit 5 million subscribers on YouTube.
Good for them. Good for them. We'll be there one day. I mean, probably not.
We're well on our way.
Aim big. We'll aim big out here. Anything else from Dynamite that we need to touch on?
There was the Cope and Cope and the Bucks beating the Don Callis family in trios action. Then Christian came out and he was like, he's done with the buddy stuff, and he was like, you guys need to realize you're facing who you're facing. You're facing a team that pay-per-views have been named after, that matches have been named after, and I absolutely love freaking Matt Jackson's response. Like,
oh yeah, it was so
like you ever had a company named after you? I was like, drop the mic. He should have just dropped the mic right there. Like, never had a company. Like, you're in the company named after us. Like, who are we talking about? And like, I like that whole angle. And I like Christian just saying, you know what? Talk shit, get hit, kick to the balls, then Nick hitting the super kick, and then Cope hitting him with the spear. We needed some physicality in the build, so I thought that was a nice like angle, a good angle to close out the build to Bucks versus Cope and Cage.
Like you're saying, we got to talk about the women's match. Oh, we mentioned it that Persephone penned Maya World. Seems like they're gonna set things up between Maya and Persephone on that. I mean, I don't know.
I'm a little bit disappointed that they never gave Divine Dominion and Brawling Birds an actual angle or promo to build up this matchup. It's just been, let's have Divine Dominion attack Brawling Birds after they win a squash. Then Brawling Birds attack them back after Divine Dominion wins a squash. And then it's just been them in trios matches. That's been the build to this matchup that we've known it was going to happen for 4 months. It's kind of crazy, the lack of creativity, the lack of effort put into the build.
Yeah, they're just playing their part in this. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like there's a ton of heat between the two teams. No. Honestly, it just feels like, all right, we've done our little vignettes and promos, and we've done our trios matches, and that's kind of that. It's like, okay, cool. Like, there was more heat, you know, when Divine Dominion first aligned with Mercedes, but they were going after Sisters of Sin and Triangle of Madness on that. That felt like where the heat was, and obviously that's not the way they have gone here. But it doesn't feel like there's been real heat between Divine Dominion and Brawling Birds. And then show closed. Swerve beat Jack Perry, and that was the show. And I know they did the video package at the end. Like, I get it, but live crowd, that was the show there, and there was no, you know, there's nothing else to it. It's just like, okay, we're moving on.
Yeah, because they had showed that video package, which was definitely the best thing on the show last night. They showed that after the Ospreay promo on the live feed. But I did hear that that's how they ended the show, and I was like, "Hey, you ended it with the best thing on the show, so I can't argue too much with it." And you know, I see in the chat, Xenar, I was saying, if you could rebook the All In 2026 card, what you adding, subtracting, or changing? Honestly, I have no issues with the card. My issues are all with the build. It's never with the card. I think that Tony Khan has perfected the art of building an amazing and exciting pay-per-view card. He just hasn't figured out how to always build to those cards.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really add or subtract anything. I might change. I don't need to do a Casino Gauntlet and a Trios Gauntlet. I'd probably actually cut down on some stuff. Like, I probably wouldn't do a Casino Gauntlet. I would just do Andrade and MJF.
The only reason, like, that would probably be the only thing, but I also am, if you don't have the Casino Gauntlet, Speedball Mike Bailey, Chris Jericho, Tommaso Ciampa, Mark Davis, all these guys get lofted off the card. I'm not doing that. I'm just doing that trios matchup. Fuck all that. Put Jay White, put David Finlay, put Ricochet, put all those guys in the Casino Gauntlet instead, and just do Hangman and Brodito versus Swerve and Mystery Partners.
Yeah, that was the other potential change that I would make. I'm someone who is a less, like, I don't need to give a spot to everybody type of person. So that's why I'm like, I can live without a Casino Gauntlet and Trios Gauntlet and everything. I'd be cool with just Hangman, Brody, and Bandito against Swerve and his partners, and I'd be cool with just MJF and Andrade. But I understand, like, this is why I don't run the wrestling company and have to deal with all these personalities, because when you are dealing with all these people, you're gonna have a lot of people who are like, why the fuck am I not on this card? Why? What are we doing? So
exactly.
You do have to,
that's why I don't have a problem with the Casino Gauntlet.
No, I don't either.
I don't think it's been a weird build. I thought it's been a very effective build using the star power of MJF and the rivalry with Andrade to build up this matchup, and then having the other people involved in it wrestle each other, where you're also building up the Casino Gauntlet in that way with like the tag match they did with Speedball and Commander versus Nick Wayne and Tommaso Ciampa. They're doing the trios matchup on Saturday, and then we did backstage segments on this show with Jericho and Mark Davis announcing himself for the Casino Gauntlet. So I thought they've honestly done a better job of building out this one in comparison to the 2024 Casino Gauntlet, because they literally used a rivalry to build up the Casino Gauntlet, which they don't always do. They kind of just do the Casino Gauntlet and use that as the thing to draw people into the matchup. They actually showed some effort in making it about MJF and Andrade.
Yeah, I think the build to the Casino Gauntlet has been good as well. I don't have an issue with the card. I would cut down on things because that's just my overall style. But I think if I was in Tony's position, I probably wouldn't do those things because again, you kind of got to use everybody. I would have Tekla on the card. That is one change.
Tekla is probably the only thing I'm adding to the card, and it's just the Tekla Open Challenge that I would have just built by just having her randomly show up on last night's show and say, I'm wrestling at All In. I don't care what Tony says. I'm showing up. Whoever wants to face me, and she's like, I hope it's someone from Stardom. That's how I would build it. And that only takes like 2 minutes. That's a 2-minute Tekla promo where she calls the whole locker room dumb bitches and says she has a match at All In, unofficial, but she's going to show up and she's challenging anyone to meet her.
Yeah. That'd be the only thing is I'd add Tekla to the card at somewhere on there. A couple of super chats here. We got to talk about the Omega Tribal Chief.
OTC!
Everybody just using the OTC moniker out here. I don't know. I assume they knew that Omega wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't feel like that was a thing that they didn't know. So they probably should have had a better plan, knowing that your world champion wasn't going to be on your last show before your biggest show of the year.
Honestly, this is what I'm saying with the 2 weeks that Omega missed this week. It was so unavoidable to not have him not on the show completely. Like, you knew before Grand Slam Mexico, he wasn't making the trip to Mexico. So why did you have him on the advertisements? Why didn't you have him do a pre-tape saying that he wasn't going to be there, but he will be watching Will's matchup with Mark Davis that hypes up the main event on your show, that puts Omega front and center after he kind of staked his claim that he is against Ospreay in that first promo that they did after Redemption? That would have been the thing to do then. And then last night, it's just an interview, a behind-the-scenes interview with Omega after he attacked Ospreay the week prior. That is simple things that I'm just astonished that no one in AEW thought to do with those 2 weeks.
Yeah. Meet Normus says, I have no F's to give about the C3 final. The international triple threat could steal the show. CEO over Willow, maybe. Tekla attack, how you know. Yeah, I mean, we didn't really talk about the international title triple threat.
Because all they did was a backstage segment for that. Yeah. They literally said, all these are done. Like, we're going to do a Takeshita match on Collision, so we'll get a final build in front of the fans. But on this show, it's just a backstage segment.
Yeah. All right. That was Dynamite, everybody. All In this weekend. Plenty to talk about with that on Monday for only a 4-hour show, allegedly, on Sunday. Allegedly. Any other wrestling that you wanna hit on? You have matches of the week?
That's right. I forgot that I was supposed to do that for today. I've been on Friday the last 2 weeks, so that's why I kind of been like, I don't have to worry about that until Friday.
I mean, that's good if you want to just pop on tomorrow and do them. I'm okay with that.
I don't know what time I'm getting back from media day, so let me just do it now.
All right.
Let me just associate, but you could talk to the chat as I just make sure
I
got this right
chat.
Here.
That sounds terrible. Talking to the chat. I will say,
I hate you guys.
I will say, I put this out on social media, and certain people liked it, but I listened to an MJF interview today. It was with the Sports Media Podcast, Richard Deitch. MJF's so good at this stuff. He legitimately might be one of the best when it comes to, like, across any company, when it comes to these interviews. Like, he sells himself, he sells his company. He doesn't like bury anybody, bury any other companies or anything. Like, he
knows how to talk about WWE.
Yeah,
very well.
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't
without burying them like a lot of other people do.
Right, like he's so good at just interviews in general, and like he just understands all of this stuff. And I've said it before, especially over the last year, where he's gotten really great at blending the real life and the character stuff. Because before, when he was a babyface, he'd lean too far babyface, and when he was a heel, I thought he would lean too far heel. And now I feel like he does a great job of like giving what sounds like a real opinion that he has, and a real answer that he has, and a factual answer, while also still being MJF and being like a heel character with things. And that's what makes him so good at this stuff. And you don't know if he's lying on some of his feelings, or if he's telling the truth on some of his feelings, because, you know, for every, you know, in every bit of kidding, there might be a little truth, and it's almost like two truths and a lie type thing with him as well. He's like, well, he praised Will Ospreay, so, you know, does he really hate CM Punk when he talks about this? Because, like, why would he praise Will Ospreay? Oh, he's become very good when it comes to this. See, I've not seen this video yet. The comment from Will about Rock not main eventing Wembley before.
I saw the comment from Will is because the fucking show that he was on tried to make his interview about The Rock. It was not good by them to make the whole interview about The Rock when he's here promoting All In. The presenters never said anything about All In. It was only Will and the actor who said something about it.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the setup wasn't good off of that. But the other thing is, he said that earlier this week on the Hawani interview. He's like, you know, people like The Rock and Triple H and these WWE guys, like, they've never been to Wembley, so like it's really cool, you know, that I get to do this. Maybe he would that when he said it with Hawani, it was very much of like, hey, this is a cool achievement that like not everyone gets to do type thing. Yeah. So I didn't take that as like any type of like shot or burial. I was like, oh yeah, that is cool. Maybe it was a little bit more aggressive with this interview, but from what I've seen with like the setup to it, like he probably had a right to be aggressive with this interview, because they were like promoting like it was going to be an interview with The Rock or something. So I don't know.
No, it worked. Jose, you're confusing this completely. He says The Rock is one of the biggest stars in the planet. That's why it doesn't work. No, it works because he is main eventing Wembley, and The Rock never did that. That's why he said it. Like that, he's putting himself on a higher level than one of the biggest stars on the planet. That's why it works. The not good part that you were saying is the host, not what Will said.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with Will saying that. Now, if he. Yeah, I have to listen to it. I have to get full context and everything. But like I said, like I heard him say this earlier this week, and I thought nothing of it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool achievement. Like he's done this.
Especially if the interviews are just gonna make it all about WWE, then yes, I'm gonna name one of the biggest stars on the planet, one of the biggest stars ever in WWE, and say, guess what? He never made event Wembley. I'm gonna be at All In, and I'm gonna main event Wembley. It's basically saying I'm on a level higher than him as a pro wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very funny because the MJF interview, at the end of it, he's like, I said a lot of things, and the only thing that's going to get picked up is anything about WWE, and everybody's just going to think I was only asked about WWE. I just said it in my tweet. I was like, MJF's great at this. Now I'm just going to write about his only WWE comments.
Yeah. And also, the only way that it would not be good is if, like Red Man Survivor is just saying if they didn't ask about The Rock, if he just randomly said that, then yeah, that's not good. But if they are asking you about The Rock, guess what? I'm going to say Rock's not main event in Wembley Stadium. I am. So let's talk about that.
That's one thing that just completely annoys me about, and I get it. These fans don't get full context to everything, and don't read everything, don't listen to the full interview. They just read the headline, or they just read like the aggregated quote or whatever. And they're all like, why are they always talking about this person? Why are they always talking about this company? 99% of the time it's because they get asked about it. Like, they are not just like, hey, let me throw this shot out there. I think it's hilarious when they do that, but 99% of the time it's like, hey, talk to us about your time here, talk to us about your time there, talk to us about this person, talk to us about what's going on in this company. It's like, what are you gonna do? I guess you can say like, I'd rather not, I'm just here to talk about AEW. I mean, maybe AEW needs to send the email like other companies do, of like, this person will only talk about AEW, nothing but AEW. And you have 15 minutes exactly, and you can only ask questions about AEW. Any other questions about other companies or religion or politics or anything else will not be answered. Only ask about AEW. Some companies do that.
They do. They do. And honestly, if Will said, oh, I'm not here to talk about any of that, I'm here to talk about AEW, that looks worse than what he said.
Yeah.
That response looks worse than what he that is worse than what he said. Yeah. That is not good. That is actually not good.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good response. Like, if you get asked, just be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm doing this, or we're doing this over here. You can say like, I want to focus on that, wish them well, type of whatever it might be, but they get asked most of these times. It's silly. It's very silly. All right. You good for matches of the week? Okay.
Yes.
All
right. So number 10, I got Moriarty versus Shibata from Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. Great matchup that they had. Very a technical wrestling clinic that they had there. Love the finish of the matchup as well, and love the sell of Moriarty with his knee, even on the springboard that he botched. He botched his springboard a lot better than Blake Christian on the same show. Number 9, we got Claudio Castagnoli versus Daniel Garcia in the C3 from Collision. I'm still thinking about that giant swing with one leg, with the injured leg into the sharpshooter. Great finish. Number 8, I did go with Jon Moxley versus Claudio Castagnoli from last night's Dynamite. I thought the swing into the barricade was a great spot. And then down the stretch, just Moxley just being so persistent, and Claudio dominating the matchup, but Moxley just digging down deep, using his bad arm to get the bulldog choke at the end. I thought that was a great ending to the matchup. So I want to put out my praise now about the match, because I'm sure Jimmy McGraham's going to shit all over it later on. Number 7, I went with CM Punk versus Kevin Owens from SmackDown. Great match. That atmosphere in Toronto was electric. I think the only thing holding it back from being higher on my list for this week was the finish. Number 6, Swerve Strickland and Jack Perry from Dynamite last night. Jack Perry's been having a heater right now. Like, he is on the best stretch of in-ring work that he's had in such a long time, gaining respect from former world champions, and he put up a hell of an effort last night against Swerve. That house call was ridiculous. It looked like he just popped him and shot him while he was jumping up in the air. Number 5, the greatest TNA steel cage match of all time, Mustafa Ali versus Jason Hodge from Lockdown. That's all I got to say about that. Number 4, Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee from the number 1 contenders tournament on Raw. Excellent matchup, up there with Gable and Mysterio and Punk and Balor for the best Raw matches of 2026 so far. Number 3, Athena versus Suzuki from Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. 2 of the best women's wrestlers going at it, having a 30-minute epic. Great way to close Death Before Dishonor. Number 2, though, was the best match at Death Before Dishonor. Bandito versus Nick Wayne, a star-making performance from young Nick Wayne. That would be number 1 for the week if it wasn't for the real number 1, the 5-star Grand Prix final, Rena versus Starlight Kid. A amazing matchup. Rena, her timing and pacing of these matches at 19 years old, she is well beyond her years as far as like how much she knows about the wrestling business, and when she does certain moves and how she times it, how she plays to the crowd, it's amazing. One of the greatest teenagers to ever step in a professional wrestling ring. Starlight Kid is so underrated. She should have been a World of Stardom champion by now. Should have been won a 5-star Grand Prix, but this was the first perfect 5-star matchup, women's matchup of the year for me so far. So it's got to be number one.
I can't believe the other 5-star women's matchup of the week wasn't Lash Legends and Tiffany Stratton.
That happened.
Yeah, that was on SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
That match
I was watching SmackDown and Death Before Dishonor at the same time.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
If SmackDown had something that wasn't interesting, then
that match was apparently 7 minutes long.
That sounds awful.
That sounds way too long for that match. I'm sorry. Oof. All right.
Good.
There you go. Matches of the week, everybody.
Thank you.
I'll just wait until SmackDown this week with Paige and JC Jane. Graves. Graves was there, so Graves knows what this match.
I know you should have said, wait till you see that triple threat match that ends in a DQ.
Yeah, we're not even talking. We were probably never going to review SmackDown anyway because we had way too much to get to on Monday. But I love that they're just saving me the time.
Exactly. We won't even have to mention SmackDown on Monday.
I don't even know if I'm going to watch it.
We should talk about SmackDown now. We know the spoilers. We should talk about it before. Okay. We should talk about it now. We should review it now with Grace in the chat, reviewing it in the chat while we review it on here and let everybody know you don't have to waste time. Enjoy your Friday night because this is not a show that it's a pre-tape show that came after a Monday Night Raw. So those are always like the worst WWE television shows is that are pre-taped days in advance. And then it ends with a DQ.
Yeah, I guess technically it's a no contest. That's all the same thing. If there's not an actual finish, I'm not giving it a proper review. That's the edict around here. Apparently, there's the Irresistible Forces against Chelsea and Tiffany. All right,
Irresistible Forces win.
You're doing my bit now. There's JC against Paige.
Nikki Bella returns. Paige loses. JC Jane wins.
Tatum Paxley against Michin.
Tatum wins, but that's all I remember about it. I think they did some angle after the matchup.
I don't know. And then the main event, it's set up at the beginning of the show. The main event is Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Gunther, triple threat match, number 1 contenders match.
This is the triple threat match that ends without a finish because Sami Zayn interferes to knock everybody out with the title. CM Punk comes out and tries to fight Sami, but eventually Sami knocks him out with the title as well.
I agree saying there's no angle. They just set up a 6-woman for Saturday Night's match. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I didn't think there was an angle. All right, there you go. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch tomorrow. Knowing we're not talking about it and reviewing it, I don't have any desire to watch this.
I'm trying to see if I have any reason to stay up and watch that. I might be doing my agenda for True Heel Heat, so I might just have that on the background. Yeah, like that might be the only reason that I stay up and watch it to the end. But I'm not going to be really watching it. I'm going to be setting up the show for tomorrow, for the day following.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch anything else, honestly. Anything else.
This would have been the perfect week to do this. I mean, last week would have been the perfect week to do this episode of SmackDown so that we didn't have to do dual screens and watch Death Before Dishonor and SmackDown. I have to say, they actually made that one interesting with the Punk and Owens matchup. They should have just done that this week and then done Punk and Owens this week. I don't know, but...
SP3 in sad basketball news, I guess for you, Jonathan Kuminga has chosen the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes. I know you talked yourself into being excited for Kuminga and the Lakers. So how are you feeling after he goes to the Timberwolves?
a little disappointing. This definitely helps the Timberwolves. They needed some size inside. Not that Kuminga gives them a ton of size, but he's a body to put there. It does make them a little bit better offensively. Defensively, not much. But yeah, it's going to make their team overall better, where I would say I would have the Wolves slightly ahead of the Lakers overall in the West.
I definitely think it improves the Timberwolves. I actually really like this move for the Timberwolves because their front court sucked.
Yeah.
It was just awful, honestly. And adding Kuminga, I like their starting lineup. The spacing might be a little awkward because Kuminga can't shoot, and Gobert obviously isn't going to space the floor at all. But I think they're going to play really fast in transition with this lineup. And I think their offense is going to play faster as well. And defensively, like they're still good defensively. Kuminga's a very good defender. So you have Kuminga, Edwards, McDaniels, and Gobert as your primary defenders. Like that's a good 4 out of 5 defense there. I really like, and it slots everybody down because Trey Lyles was going to start, and that would have gone terribly. Or Io would have started, and then you're playing small, and then your bench gets depleted. Now Io's coming off the bench. Trey Lyles can just play a backup role. I think it's a really good move for Minnesota. I wasn't enamored with this move for the Lakers. I agree that like it's an addition, and it helps, and it adds depth, and there wasn't anything like wrong with it. It just wasn't gonna like excite me of if I was a Lakers fan of like, oh yeah, we got Jonathan Kuminga. I think he may have hurt the spacing a little too much, and Luka wants to play with maybe more spaced out lineups, especially with Walker Kessler in there. So I don't think it's a huge loss for the Lakers, but I really like it for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, the Timberwolves, I feel, are the third best team in the Western Conference now. I don't think we ever talked about this last week, but fuck, man, the Nuggets.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about
the Nuggets. Might I wouldn't be shocked if the Nuggets were in the play-in. that's how I think that their offseason has been bad. They've had the worst offseason of any like playoff team in the Western Conference.
Okay, a couple of things. No, Jose. They literally promised Kuminga a starting spot. Like he was
like, you don't have to go through the same thing you did in Golden State.
Yeah, he's starting. They're not starting Io at all. Like this was the point of getting Kuminga, so they didn't have to start Io and play small. Like they wanted an actual power forward in there. As far as the Nuggets go, I don't think they haven't gotten better. I'm not gonna pretend like they got better or anything.
They got worse. Like we can't sugarcoat it and say, oh, they definitely haven't got better, but I don't think they got worse. They lost their main defender. Their defense is fucking trash.
Their defense is terrible.
They signed a nearly 40-year-old DeMar DeRozan, who's going to be he's going to be their third best offensive player, but their defense got way worse. They are worse than they were at the close when they got lost to the Timberwolves that they were never supposed to lose to. That team was better than this team now.
Their defense has definitely gotten worse. I don't disagree there. I think the Nuggets, their downfall has been exaggerated because of how the playoffs went. And people are putting a ton of stock into the play. And I get it. Like, they didn't look good in the play. They looked terrible. Jokic looked bad. Murray looked bad. Gordon couldn't stay on the floor. Watson was hurt. Like, it was not a good look for them. They were still the third seed in the regular season. Their starting lineup, which they're returning their starting lineup. Peyton Watson was not a starter last year. He was coming off the bench. He did start due to injuries, but their main lineup was Jokic, Murray, Brown, Johnson, and Gordon. That was one of the best starting lineups in the league last year. So they still have a very good starting lineup. DeRozan's going to at least make up some offense that you lose with Watson and Tim Hardaway Jr. Their defense is awful, but their defense was already awful. Like, they were already winning games 130 to 125. This doesn't really change any of that. Do I look at them as like an actual threat, as like a playoff team? not right now anyway. Like, if they make some changes in the season, maybe they get there. But if this is their playoff lineup, I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
yeah,
we'll take this. But I think as a regular season team, I still think they're a top 4 team as a regular season team.
I don't. I think the Lakers and the Timberwolves are better than them. It's clear. It's not even. I don't even think that there's much of a debate there. They're a top 5 team in the West, but they're not top 4 anymore.
Okay, I think they're top 4.
Who do you think they're better than the Timberwolves or better than the Lakers? Who do you think they're better than?
I think they're better than both teams, and I'll tell you why.
I think that's baffling. That's baffling after watching the playoffs and the last games between the Lakers and the Nuggets. The Nuggets have not gotten better, and those two teams have.
They've gotten better on paper. I'll tell you why I think the Nuggets are still going to be a top 4 team. And I could be wrong on this. Maybe they are 5th. Maybe they are 6th. Things could go horrible for the Denver Nuggets this season, especially if Gordon's hurt and the contract stuff with Jokic, like that could play a big part into things. Murray is going to have another like really strong season. He was excellent in the regular season last year. He was an all-star last year. But I could say the same thing about the Lakers. They're a Luka injury away from not competing. Minnesota, I still don't love their depth overall, I still don't love their front court either, even with the signing of Kuminga. So we can look at all of the negatives when it comes to things. And if one of these things happens to go wrong, these teams aren't going to be as good. Here's why I'm still going to put them above both of those teams. And it's the same philosophy I have shared for years. And you know this, SP3. I don't love teams that have big turnover in the offseason. I don't think it leads to the immediate results, and they get off to a slow start and they got to make up some ground and everything. Minnesota is an inconsistent regular season team. Great in the playoffs. I mean, they made 2 straight Western Conference finals. They went 6 with San Antonio last year. Inconsistent in the regular season. They got stretches where they'll look great and then they'll lose to like the worst teams in the league. Now you're factoring in LaMelo. They're completely changing how they're playing with LaMelo. That's going to take a little bit of time when it comes to that. The Lakers are a completely new team. I don't know how it's going to work. Do I like them on paper? Yes, I do. I will fully admit that. I like what they have done this offseason. If you told me, hey, which team do on paper would I prefer? I do prefer the Lakers over the Nuggets on paper. I'm actually looking at it from a consistency perspective and it's an 82 game regular season where consistency matters a lot in an 82 game regular season. And I think the Nuggets, because they do have that consistency, because even though their playoffs have not gone well the last couple of years, it just hasn't. The Nuggets in the regular season, basically what to expect from them. They are a 50 to 55 win team, and they're bringing back the same roster that consistently wins 50 to 55 games. Could it go horribly? Yes, absolutely. But it can go horribly for a lot of teams. But that's why I think they're still a top 4 team by the end of the season. Now, do I like – so here's the difference that I think we're having here. You're looking at just – on paper, which teams would you rather kind of have? Would it rather be Minnesota, the Lakers, or the Nuggets? I like the Nuggets, or I like the Minnesota lineup better. I think this is going to be a fun lineup overall. I like the Nuggets or the Lakers depth better than the Nuggets. I'm looking at it from factoring everything that's not just put the team on the paper and what we kind of know. I'm
not just basing it on projecting on the paper. I'm just going off of the trajectory of this Nuggets team. I watched this Nuggets team almost as closely as I watched the Lakers, because this is the number 1 team I hate. The Lakers are the number 1 team I love, and the Nuggets are the number 1 team I hate. And like questions like that, like JT in the chat saying, is Luka and Reeves playing defense this year? That's like saying you actually think that Jokic plays defense this year.
Yeah.
So that's the question you should be fucking asking, not about Luka and Reeves. So anyway, the trajectory they've been on, it leads to me saying that they're going to fall down in the standings in the regular season, and they're going to have another probably tough playoff matchup in the postseason. Would I be surprised if you're right and they're a top 4 seed in the Western Conference? No, because they have arguably the best player in all of the NBA, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic was dragging them to a 6 seed when he was just starting his prime back in 2021. So I do expect this team that's much better than that team from 2021 that, yeah, he could get to a top 4 seed or anything. But what I'm also saying is that top 4 seed don't mean shit when it comes to the playoffs. He's probably going to lose to the 5th seed. That's what I'm saying. I mean, because of how it's been for the Nuggets. Like, the Nuggets are really good, like you said, in the regular season. But when it comes to the postseason, all their flaws come back to roast, and they always get roasted. They had that 1 year in 2023, but that was an aberration more than it was what we consistently get from the Nuggets in the playoffs. Is they usually lose, and they usually lose to a team that nobody ever thought they were going to lose to.
Hey, the playoffs, we can have this discussion again, and depending on the matchup, there's a solid chance that I'm like, yeah, I actually don't like the Nuggets in this series, but I do like them to be a top 4 team in the regular season portion of things. I do think they will be in the top 4. So I think the top 6 is kind of set in the West, barring
who would be 6?
Houston.
Okay, I could see that.
I mean, is there anybody you think that's like there that's not Houston?
I really feel like one of these young teams in the West are gonna make a jump this year. I just have that feeling, and we see it every single year.
Yeah,
you see it every year. So I just feel like one of those teams, like bottom half, like a Portland, or maybe
Portland's odd because obviously they were a playoff team last year, and they were a good team last year.
The Jazz is another one who's really young, and I just feel like they making steady improvements that I can see them making another jump. But yeah, that's probably maybe the Mavs too. Mavs is another one, but you're already hearing rumors about them making stupid trades and stuff like that. But yeah, I think other than the Jazz, the Rockets, the Mavericks, the Portland Trailblazers, yeah, it's pretty clear who the top teams are going to be in the Western Conference.
Portland's an awkward one because they're a good team, but people I think tend to forget that they now have like Dame and Ja on the team, and I don't.
They have way too many guards.
What that looks like, honestly. Like, look, if Ja's healthy and he's playing great, like maybe it all works out. I don't know. And if Dame can stay healthy and Dame kind of reverts to sort of form here, like maybe it works in some way. But they're defensively, that's not the greatest in the world. There, it's tough with that. I can see Portland making a little bit of a jump. The Mavericks would maybe have to make too much, at least for a 6 seed. Now, could I see the Mavericks like get into a play-in? Sure, I can see that. But to jump to like 6, that one's tough for me to say. Same thing with Phoenix. Like I think Phoenix is good. They're bringing back the majority of their roster as well. I like what Phoenix has done overall, but to put them 6 or higher, like I just don't see it. That.
No, yeah. You're probably right about the Rockets being the
They're bringing back the same team, and granted, their playoff failed spectacularly, and I think Kevin Durant hates everybody on that team, but they did add Marcus Smart. I like that addition for them. So there's no reason to think why they wouldn't at least be top 6 when they were a 5 seed last year and are bringing back the same team.
Yeah. And JT, his latest response was, "I'll take the Nuggets over the Lakers any day," which means that you took the Nuggets over the Lakers last season. So you're rocking that L on the top of your forehead right now. So get ready to make space for another big L right next to it, because the Nuggets ain't shit.
Yeah, the Nuggets really don't scare me that much. Like,
don't scare nobody. It shouldn't scare nobody. Honestly, I think the team that they can play the best in the playoffs, that's why I honestly want them to be like a high play-in seed, because I feel like the only team that could really that they could really like beat in the playoffs is the Spurs.
I don't know. It was disappointing we didn't get that last year because the Nuggets choked it away. I mean, they didn't even choke it. They didn't even have a lead in this series.
They never, the Nuggets, the one thing they don't want to see in this year's playoffs is the fucking Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Instead, they just got the mental edge on them. It's a wrap.
Yeah. It was disappointing we didn't get that Jokic-Wemby matchup last year because it would have been interesting to see how that played. But Denver didn't get it done. What are you gonna do? We shall see when it comes to that. NBA season still like 2 months away. It's still a little ways away, and now we're getting into like there's nothing going on for off-season stuff. Like,
nope. All the focus is on football now.
Yeah, Peyton Watson was kind of the last big piece to kind of fall there, and then Benedict Mathurin's going to the Pelicans. The Pelicans are a team that I still can't figure out. That like maybe I like their team on paper, but nobody can stay healthy, and they don't really have great bigs. Like I don't know what to make of the Pelicans. Like I like the addition of Mathurin.
As clear as like the Western Conference looks, the Eastern Conference, man, this is gonna be the craziest Eastern Conference of like this, like the last century, like since like the 90s. Like I think like outside of maybe like the Knicks being on top, I don't know how the seeds are gonna shift out because there's a lot of good teams in the Eastern Conference right now.
Yeah, I do like the Eastern Conference there, especially with Halliburton returning. The Pacers are obviously going to be much better this year. The Knicks, Sixers, Celtics,
Cavs.
Cavs are, especially with the addition of Watson, like they're going to be good. Detroit's a team that they were the 1 seed last year, and they might be in the play-in this year. I don't even know what's going to happen with Detroit. So, yeah, there's a lot of there's depth.
Miami with Giannis.
Yeah.
Orlando. They signed Clay.
Orlando might be a team that's like odd team
outside looking in. Yeah.
I mean, they were a play-in team last year. It's not like they were, super high last year, but they went 7 with the 1 seed, and Orlando might be the odd team out there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wizards have like players. I'm not mad overall at the Wizards.
They could take the Hornets spot in the play-in.
Yeah. I actually don't mind the Hornets without like LaMelo.
No, I don't either. I think they are still gonna probably be in competition for a play-in spot.
Well, if they win the play-in game, they can hang the net again from winning 1 play-in game.
We won 1 play-in game, our first play-in win, yeah.
Who I think it was Follow Ghost asked us. They're Miami.
What was worse?
Yeah, what was worse, that or the Patrick Beverly thing? And me, you, and Phil all agreed like this is so much worse.
This is so worse.
At least
Patrick Beverly made the playoffs.
Yeah, Beverly was in the moment, like in the arena, made the playoffs on a team that had like no playoff success over the past few years, and they actually got into the playoffs. They celebrated a 1 play-in game where they got destroyed by the Magic in the next one. Like,
one of a
kind. We were 1 game away from the playoffs. Let's celebrate. Like, what?
We almost made the playoff. We almost won.
I would have revoked my Thunder fandom if Shea and those guys celebrated because they beat the Pelicans in the play-in game that 1 year and then got beat by the Timberwolves the next year. Like, oh, let's celebrate this moment. Like, what do you mean celebrate this moment? We didn't accomplish nothing. Yeah, Jalen Duran's still without a contract. I assume something gets done because I don't know who's trading for him, but it's dragging on right now. So I have no idea what's going to happen there.
Yep.
All right, let's do a TNA preview real quickly. It's live tonight. It's a live episode. I got to get these 5 views on YouTube for these previews here. TNA Impact tonight, actually live. So maybe LeBron James will show up. We have Indy Hartwell in action.
That's it.
We have Elijah against Bear Bronson. That should be fun. Sure. That's a match.
Elijah wins, gets his win back from lockdown.
Yeah. Jason Hotch and Trey Miguel against Ali and Agent Zero. That should be fun.
That should be good. Should be good if it gets time. I'm going to go with Hodge and Trey to get the win.
Okay. And then the TNA Knockouts Television Title Tournament Final, M by Elegance and Jada Stone.
I'm going with the Stone, baby. She should have. The Rising Stars should have won that Lethal Lockdown on Sunday, but Jada Stone wins on Impact, first ever TV champ.
I feel like the Elegance is gonna win, and I think they're gonna hold all the titles again because they have no idea what else to do with them besides that. Honestly,
I mean, they only held all the titles for like a month before Ash got injured.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna run it back now.
Can I play on your laptop?
She said no more TNA.
You said hi?
Hi, Harlem.
I'm in the water.
What are you playing on the laptop, Harlem?
Photoshop.
Oh, she just photoshopped. Damn. Oh, sorry, language.
She's advanced. She's advanced.
I asked her what she was doing. She's like, Photoshop. I was like, all right. Good for you.
It's the only thing she asks me for now.
All right, TNA Impact tonight, everybody. I don't even know if I'm clipping that at this point, but we did the preview. Yeah.
Don't take it and just walk away. Give me back my headphones.
All right, I'm clipping this and just leaving all of the Harlem interaction in here. All right, now it's going to echo because of this.
Yeah, I have to put it on the speakers now. Because I don't.
You gotta go get your headphones back, is what you gotta do. Find some other headphones.
All right, let me turn this camera off and I'll go get my headphones.
Harlan straight pulled the headphones from him, like without a second thought of it. Just yanked those headphones right off of his head. Amazing. Oh yeah, this is 100% better than TNA. But this, hopefully people will see that this is the kind of stuff that might happen during previews and they will want to check it out for some reason. Like headlining with like TNA preview gets interrupted with bigger star than anybody on Impact.
She's following me now.
Let's play sneak peek.
She's gonna keep going.
You don't have a peek.
You gonna do a sneak peek of Impact? What you looking forward to on Impact tonight?
I was going to be super quiet for take because I'm gonna hear Jeremy with my earphones.
Here, you can take me. Yeah, she just wants to hear you. She doesn't.
Oh, she wants to hear me. Okay. I thought she was gonna hit me. I was like, what's happening here? Hi, Harlem.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Oh,
she's so sad.
Let's swap.
Okay.
We're swapping.
Yeah, we swapped. Okay, now we swap back. There you go. All right. I love you. I'll see you in a little bit.
But I can't hear you.
You can't hear, damn it.
Why? That one. This is can't hear Jeremy.
Turn my headphones up.
I have no speaker in my headphones.
Turn them up.
I have no snare in my headphones. Turn them up.
Just use that instead. Because I wanted to use that.
I know. I'm almost done.
You want to host the Wednesday show with me?
I got it!
Yeah! Let's go, Harlem.
I'm just let's swap the chairs.
Oh, you want to swap chairs now? You want to sit in my
just
chair?
put her in the host seat.
I was going to be that.
Just taking your whole flow here, SP3.
I'm working. And that one is.
Harlem, can you say Lambert?
Knock down the microphone and everything.
I was doing working.
All right. Why did you have to push me to get by? All right. Retried.
What was your moment of Wednesday, SP3?
The Kenny Omega Will Ospreay video package.
My moment of Wednesday was watching Dynamite early, so I didn't have to watch it later on in the evening, and watching Collision, so I don't have to watch that on Saturday either. So my weekend's actually free until Sunday because I'm not going to watch SmackDown tomorrow. Not a poll question today. I apologize. That's on me, everybody. I just kind of blanked on that one. What did we accomplish today, SP3?
We accomplished Harlem working and being on. It's right on cue. Right on cue.
Scissors.
Where are you, scissors? Go. You can only play with this with mommy.
Sticky tape.
Sticky tape. Yeah.
She wants sticky tape.
The biggest thing we accomplished today is the GOAT is back. Harlem is back, and that's all that matters. We finally added some professionalism to this show with Harlem returning.
Oh no! I need to swap. We need to swap headphones. I can't get Jeremy.
She gave you a shut up, dada, after the great C3 rant, and the timing. Wrestlers don't have that good of timing.
No.
Like, I watched an Andrade and MJF segment that man stood there for 5 hours too long. Harlem would have been there on cue. Andrade was way too late.
And she got it right at the end of the rant too. That was just perfect. Perfection.
Oh man. SP3, let everybody know where they can find you at.
Find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be live in about an hour with Jimmy Macaram to review AEW Dynamite. I had issues with last night's Dynamite, which only means that Jimmy Macaram absolutely hated last night's show. So can't wait to see what he scores this show. Join us live, 105 AE Ramble. And I will be tomorrow we got our AEW All in London preview at 105 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be myself, Maggie, John Escudero, and Jane News. Saturday, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast at 10:05 a.m. Eastern time. Myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and the True Draw Josh and John once again. And on Sunday, we got a special review of All In 2023. The subscribers of our channel voted on a retro review for us to do. So we're doing the first ever All In at Wembley Stadium, me and Romeo on Sunday. And then, of course, Monday, I'll be back here. And then I'll be on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel to review All In London. But hope everybody has a good weekend. Hope everybody enjoys all the shows that they watch this weekend, whether it be Rev Pro, AEW, SmackDown, Collision, whatever it may be, and culminate everything with All In and come back on Monday and talk about it with me and Jeremy.
And Heat Wave and AAA Heat Wave. Let's not forget about those shows.
Heat Wave in Spanish.
We're definitely going to give those shows a lot of time on Monday. Thank you as always, SP3, one of, if not the busiest person in this line of work that we do, and I appreciate you. I'm glad you're back in the UK, safe. I'm mainly glad you're back because Harlem's back. I mean, you being here is just a bonus now. She's as always the top draw on this show. We'll be back tomorrow, myself and Kate. Kate will be filling in once again until next Friday when another legend, Saeed Yangi, will be the permanent Friday co-host on In the Weeds. So we'll be back. We'll be talking about All In, Heat Wave Spanish, and whatever else is going on in the world of professional wrestling. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for the love, the sports, super chats, all that fun stuff. Everybody enjoy your Thursday. Talk to y'all later on.